Hello! In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the current cost of living here in Columbus, Ohio. And if you're someone that's looking to move or relocate here to Columbus, then you're in the right spot. I'm Jim West with the Jim West team at Revolution Realty. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the current cost of living here in Columbus, Ohio. I know you could be watching this video at a later date, so what I will do for you is I will also share with you the resources I used to come up with the data that I'm using in this video. And I will be sharing those down in the description box, as well as displaying those throughout the video. If you ever need to get a hold of me, as I'm helping families relocate from all over the country, like South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Indiana, California, especially those Honda associates. I was in engineering at Honda for 20 years, and I'd be more than happy to help with you. So don't be afraid to call, text, or email, whatever you're comfortable with, and I'll put my information down below. And also, we are putting out new videos on a weekly basis, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and you also hit the bell so that you get notified when we bring up new videos. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the current cost of living in Columbus, and we're going to start with the overall cost of living here in Columbus. Columbus currently is about 10% below the national average of cost of living. Included in those is housing, healthcare, groceries, transportation, childcare, as well as utility bills. We all know that the cost of living can be affected by various things. As far as housing goes, currently the average sales price here in Columbus, Ohio is $272,000. That cost is specifically for our Columbus Board of Realtors. And I will share that link in the description box as well, as that's constantly changing. In that link, you'll be able to see some of the other suburbs around Columbus that are higher priced, some are lower priced. As an example, the average sales price in Dublin is somewhere around $340. The average sale price in Powell is about $360. And the average sale price in New Albany is $410, as well as Upper Arlington, and also some of the other areas around Columbus. But at the end of this video, I'll be pulling up a heat map and showing you exactly where those areas are located at in the Columbus metro area and what that current living cost is. As for now, let's get started with our current housing. Like I said, the current sales price here in Columbus, Ohio is $275,000. Rent-wise, you can rent a one-bedroom studio apartment for about $1,000. A one-bedroom apartment is around $1,100. A two-bedroom apartment is somewhere around $1,200 to $1,400, and a three-bedroom apartment is about $1,300 to $1,500. If you're looking for a house to rent, a house somewhere that has 3 beds, 2.5 baths, it's about 1,800 square feet, is going to cost you about $1,700. And a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house, that's about 2,200 square feet, will cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,000 to $2,200. And again, depending upon the area that you live in, those prices will vary. Second thing we'll talk about is healthcare. The healthcare costs here in Columbus are about 10% below the national average. We have some rather large hospitals here. Of course, the Ohio State University James Cancer Institute. We also have Ohio Healthcare that has Riverside Methodist, Dublin Methodist, and then we have the Mount Carmel East and West hospitals. And some of the smaller suburbs in the outskirts, like Marysville, has their own hospital. Delaware has their own hospital, as well as Newark having its own hospital. But those costs somewhere range about 10% below the national average. A current office visit is going to cost you about $100. A dentist appointment is going to be somewhere around $85. Your eye doctor or optometrist is about $110. And if you want to take care of your dog or cat, an average vet bill cost is about $85. The next thing is groceries. Groceries, right now our family is spending somewhere in the neighborhood of $800 a month in groceries. The grocery bill here in Columbus is 3% lower than the national average. We have some large grocery retails here. We have Kroger, which is the largest one in the country. We have Meijer. We have Walmart as well. And also Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. And then some of the outlying areas like Marysville, Delaware, they have some small mom and pop shop grocery stores too. Transportation here in Columbus is about 1% lower than the national average. Currently, the price of gas here in Marysville, or price of gas here in Columbus, is somewhere around $2.85. Most of the people here in Columbus area, they do drive, as we don't have a lot of areas that are accessible through walking. But we do have the public transportation quota, which can transport people, and it's about $1 to $2 per trip. But again, we are about 1% below the national average. Child care wise, you can expect to pay somewhere around $1,000 a month for one child and about $1,500 a month for two children. And that's with the bigger child care facilities like Enchanted Care, Primrose, Kinder Care, Little Care. But we also have some mom and pop shops that are a little bit cheaper as far as cost goes for individuals. They are older facilities typically, and they also have a smaller crew to be able to handle less children. But I would recommend that you make sure you call around. If you are moving to Columbus, make sure you call around and about 2 months in advance to try and get into a child care. We found out the hard way when we relocated back to Columbus that we had to wait almost 4 months to be able to get the facility that we were looking for. Anyways, I'd say child care wise, like again, about $1,000 a month, $1,500 for two children. Utility wise, we are somewhere around 2%, 2 to 3% below the national average. A typical gas bill is around $110. Typical electric bill is about $120. Cable, which also includes Wi-Fi. We have Spectrum, we have WOW, which is going to be somewhere around $150. Water bill typically is going to run you, which also includes trash, is going to run you about $50 a month in Franklin County. Now Marysville is a little bit more expensive. In Marysville, the average water, trash, sewer bill runs somewhere around $110 a month. Education-wise and taxes, again, they vary based off of certain universities and areas that you live in. Tax-wise, some of the ones that I mentioned before, Dublin, Upper Arlington, New Albany, Bexley, they have the best schools, but they also have the highest tax rate or highest tax base as far as here in Franklin County. Education costs, we have several universities here. We have Otterbein, we have Capital that are here in Columbus, but we also have Ohio State University. And depending upon the size of the school that you go to, those two specifically, Capital and Otterbein, they are quite a bit more expensive than what Ohio State University is, which is a state-funded school. And then we have a 2-year program, Columbus State, which a lot of kids go to, and then they can transfer over to Ohio State. Overall cost of living here in Columbus is about 10% below the national average, and there are a couple of websites that I will share later on that you can utilize, and I'll also post those in the description box below. But make sure you utilize those to get a better understanding of what it is moving from, say, Chicago or San Francisco or wherever it is you're moving from to Columbus. Those two sites are excellent resources. All right, so we are back. As I was talking about earlier in the video, I have several resources that I've gone to over the years when I've relocated my family. Not once, but twice. And these resources were a big help in understanding what the cost of living were in those particular cities that I was moving to. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So let's start with bestplaces.net. As you can see, the cost of living. Now, this does require a subscription. You can get a good subscription for about $10 a month or around $90 a year. And the cost of living is around 85.5 cents on the dollar compared to the national average overall. Grocery-wise, we're about 2%. Health-wise, about 10%. Housing-wise, about 25%. So you could get a good idea of what it costs to live in a place like Columbus, Ohio, or any other place in the country that you're considering to move to. It also shows you the average rent by bedroom size. Again, this information is a little bit dated as compared to the numbers that I was quoting in the video before. But the thing I want to show you today on the bestplaces.net is the heat map, as I mentioned. Here in Columbus, we were looking at somewhere around $275,000 for the average sales price of a home. But some of these other outlying areas, the suburbs, it costs considerably more to be able to buy a home. The most expensive right now in Columbus, as I mentioned, was New Albany. The overall cost of living in New Albany is about 147% or 47% higher than it would what it is nationwide. The next is Upper Arlington. It's about 27% higher than the average cost of living nationwide. Ohio State is about right there. So most of the people who work and live at Ohio State, for the most part, they live in Upper Arlington. Next cost of living price-wise is going to be Dublin. It's 123%. After that is Powell. Powell is in the neighborhood of 122. And then we will have, let me see if I can move this map, Bexley and Grandview Heights. Grandview Heights is 124%. Grandview Heights is also very close to Ohio State, and a lot of the young employees who work at Ohio State, they live in Grandview Heights, as most of the stuff is walking distance from anywhere. And then the last is Bexley as far as the purple markings. Bexley is 117%. Some of the other areas, like I mentioned before, cheaper: Marysville, Delaware, Pataskala. But as you look at the legend, you can see the highest is 147%, and it gets all the way down into 73% as you get into the cheaper areas of Columbus, which that's here at Hilltop, Lincoln Village. Those are some of our higher crime areas here in Columbus. So again, this website is called bestplaces.net. It is a great resource to go to. Another one is PayScale. PayScale will show you whatever city you're living in currently, moving to Columbus, what that will do to your cost of living. You can calculate that cost of living. If you're moving from, as an example, Chicago to Columbus, your housing is going to be about half of what it is in Chicago. Your cost of living is going to be about 25% less. Again, overall, these numbers are the numbers that I was saying in the video. 10% less for overall housing, utilities, groceries, transportation. And it gives you a breakdown of what each and every one of them could potentially be. Again, as you can see, this data is a little bit dated, but it still gives you a good idea of what it costs to live in Columbus, Ohio, healthcare wise. The only thing it does not show would be childcare. But again, you can kind of do a Google search. I call it GTS. Google that stuff to get that information that you're looking for. So again, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video all the way through. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. 614-507-5732 is my number. You can call or text or email Jim West at jimwestteam.com, whichever one you're comfortable with doing. And if you like this video, like the information I'm sharing with you, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also click that bell to make sure you get notified when we put new videos out.